If you've been waiting for a very messy spot of my home for me to declutter during this challenge, wish granted. I don't think you're ready for this. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to my Monica closet. My name is Shauna. If we haven't met yet, I am excited that you're here. This is the bane of my existence, this garage. We have really great systems, or like things that could work, but there's just so much in here that the systems need tweaking. So I have blocked off 4 days. I hope it's enough time to get this done. I've already in my mind blocked off 4 different zones, so I'm going to do a zone a day, so I'll share those with you in a second. But I'm nervous. My husband and I were supposed to do this together over the summer, but that just obviously did not happen with having a kid graduate high school and then get ready for college, and another kid, getting ready for their sophomore year of college. And my husband traveled a lot for work, and it was just, there was a lot this summer. There was a lot. So I'm not going to beat myself up too much about it, but I'm really going to work hard to get this under control and hopefully be the last major declutter we ever have to do in this room. So let me show you the 4 zones. Out of all of the garage spaces, I think this one right here is the one I'm most embarrassed about, because I started doing this project, I think it was earlier this year. It may have been last year, I can't remember. But this was my piles from that I never took care of. So I have like a move into the house pile, I have a get rid of pile, but clutter attracts clutter. So like, there's things here that don't belong here, but because, hey, this stuff's already piled up, let's just pile more on top. So remember, clutter attracts clutter. The more you get rid of clutter, the less clutter you'll have for various reasons. So this over here is going to be part of zone 1. So here we have a 3-drawer cart that I use for gardening. We have our garage recycling bin, which is backup for if the one in the kitchen is too full or if we've got bigger items. More gardening things, gardening tools. I did install this here, which has really made a difference, but the clippers are in my work bucket down here, which is why they're not up there. And then just a whole lot of stuff. Do we need all of it? I don't think so. So this I'm going to be tackling today. And then over here, I'm also going to count as part 1, zone 1, because there's stuff up here that my kids don't use. This bed actually needs to go to the basement. We moved the box spring and mattress down for my daughter's new bed, but this needs to go down there as well. So just kind of going through this section to make sure that it's done. Zone 2 is going to be the workbench. My husband has a lot of tools, but as you can see, they get kind of cluttered easily. So I really want to tackle this. Also, this is the bedding that came with my daughter's bed. I'm going to throw it downstairs and then she can decide if she wants to keep it or not later. And then zone 3 is going to be this back corner here. We have wire cubes here, similar. These are the same ones that we use downstairs in my office closet. So just kind of getting this back corner under control. And then zone 4 is this back shelving, which I need to go through all of this stuff. This pretty much here is containers that need to be just, am I keeping them? Am I not keeping them? As you can see, some of my art festival things are all over the place. And that's kind of exploded. There's another part of a festival tent right down there. So this just This needs an overhaul for sure. Also, my husband obviously is not here, and I know there's a lot in here that he's going to have an opinion on. So I'm actually going to take one of my 4-foot tables from my art festival booth. I'm going to set that up, and anything that I need his opinion on, I'm going to put on that table so when he gets home from work, or if he, like, even if it has to wait until this weekend, I'm okay with that. So just going to put that there. He can let me know later, and then I'm still getting the work done. I don't have to wait for him. He still feels like he's being heard and seen for what he wants to keep. So let's stop talking. Let's start tackling this clutter. Before I start actually tackling the clutter, I'm going to set up my table for the things that I need my husband to look through, and then I'm going to actually remember to grab my donating box and a garbage bag this time. I'm learning, guys. So just going through item by item. A lot of this is garbage. A lot of this just needs to live elsewhere in our home. So just tackling everything item by item and just making my way through this pile one baby step at a time. Then our best helper, Mason, decided to come say hi, see what I was up to. A lot of this needs to be washed. So we have reusable water balloons that the kids love to use during the summer. I have some blankets here. The blankets actually are supposed to live in the back of our vehicles, but we had to pull them out for some reason. And then of course they sat here and got dirty. So we're going to wash those and then get them ready to go back in the vehicles before winter, because living here in Western New York, you never know if like you're going to get stuck somewhere because of the snow. So having those extra blankets in the back is a must around here. So just trying to figure out things. I have a whole basket of stuff here that needs to go to our shed. Why it's even here, I don't know. So just trying to not get overwhelmed by the pile. You'll see me stop and stand quite a few times just to like catch my breath, refocus myself, recenter myself, and just keep breathing. Sometimes when we do declutter projects, it is really easy just to almost want to shut down because there's so much that needs to be taken care of and you just don't know where to begin. So just choosing one item at a time, taking a breath, making your way through the pile. That's how we get things done. I did find some pesticide here that I have to look up how to dispose of properly. So making sure I set that to the side and just trying to really decide, what do I actually use for my garden in this area? I'm trying to use the container method where, each container is a boundary. Things have to fit in this container. If it doesn't fit in the container, something has to go. But remembering that areas are a container, so like this table is a container, underneath the table is a container, and the garage as a whole is a container. And if there's too much in a container, it can't stay organized. And I think that's the problem with the garage, is that there's just too much. So I need to be ruthless. I really need to be honest with myself. Am I going to use this? Am I not going to use this? Because when I'm trying to keep everything, I can't keep the area clean, and then I can't find anything to work. So we actually have a lot of multiples in this garage just because of things we couldn't find. So we're wasting our time, we're wasting our money, and enough is enough. I'm ready to get this just tackled, and I know that I'm going to have to declutter again someday, because we always have to declutter. Things are always coming into our homes, but I'm hoping that it's going to be an easier process from here on out. So tackling this corner, this blue can was here when we moved in and we just used it for storing our tools, but honestly it's a waste of space, so it needs to go. I'm going to just pull everything out of it and try to rework this corner just to make it a little bit more functional. So the peg rack that I hung up, actually I had found in this can when we moved in. I'm going to just try to hang as many of these garden tools as possible on there. And then some of these tools are broken. Why are we keeping them? If the tip of the shovel is cracked, it's not going to work. But yet we have hung on to it. I'm done. It needs to go. I'm gonna double check with my husband to make sure he doesn't want it for the fire pit, for just like stirring ashes around or like logs or anything like that. But I'm ready to let it go. So just trying to clean up the area, wishing I had a mask. So covering my face up with my shirt because it is so dusty, and just trying to make the best use of space over here. A lot of the things in the yellow bucket that I'm going to go through in a moment are from the garden. So there's like bamboo stakes, there's like tomato stakes in here, there's some small green stakes for like holding up veggies. We have this beautiful system that we've been using for the past 2 years. I don't need to keep all of this. I will keep the green, like the wavy ones right here, and just tuck them in the corner because those will be good for other things. Like if we ever decide to grow peppers again, those will be really good. But everything else, I'm just going to try and focus on that the next 3 days. But here is the after. It's amazing how a little bit of time can make such a big difference and how much bigger a space feels without the clutter. So hopefully my husband and I can go through his stuff tonight, and if not, that's okay. Why am I keeping it? So I really need to, at some point, drive that point home for myself. So just starting to clean up this area and stack my buckets up. I do use these a lot for like weeding or garden projects, or if we're harvesting like a lot of tomatoes or whatever, we love the buckets for carrying all that stuff in. And then just making sure everything is really swept up and tidy, just because, leaves blow in, there's sawdust from when my husband has worked on projects, and just trying to make the space feel not just better organized, but just better overall. So just taking care of that, going to put my buckets back in, and then my yellow work bucket. I could not for the life of me decide where that was going to live. I ended up putting it under the shelf. I put it in front of the shovel. I moved it back. I probably moved this thing like 6 times before I decided that it really should live under the table. So it was just amusing to myself how many times I ended up moving that bucket. And then we're moving over to part 2 of the zone 1. There's some outdoor winter toys up here that my youngest hasn't used in a while. He was really the only one who used them, so I'm going to double check with him. Finally moving these bed pieces out of here to go down to the basement. I don't know if these oil jugs are good oil, are they bad oil? So I'm setting them over on to the workbench. I think they're good. I actually probably should have moved them onto the table for my husband to look at, but it's fine. So just going through everything as I can, finding spark plugs and miscellaneous tools, and this looks like it's a landing pad for my husband. So I want to make sure that we just get it clutter free. So it's only just his grilling things. That way no other clutter will be here. Making a home for everything is my goal. I am a little nervous that I'm not going to get this whole garage done in 4 days. And if I don't, that's okay. It's still steps in the right direction. So I'm just going to focus on that the next 3 days, because any progress I make is good progress. And today, great progress was definitely made. It's amazing how much bigger a space feels once you take all the clutter out. It's crazy. And that's a wrap on day 1 of 4 in the garage. I feel so much better about the space. Makes me wonder why I waited so long to tackle this project. But it feels better, and now I have to do the rest of it. I'm not looking forward to it, but I know I'll feel better when I'm done. So I'm going to go shower because I feel disgusting, and I'll be back tomorrow. And tomorrow I need to remember to wear junk clothes because I got like grease on me. I don't know if it was from the grill or like car stuff or what, but junk clothes tomorrow. And no, next time I do this project, I need to get like a mask or something because of the dust. Yeah, poor planning on my part, but it's okay. We will persevere. All right, I'll see you tomorrow.